This past year, I've had skin tightening results dramatic enough for a whole bunch of people online to accuse me of having work done when I haven't. From deep plane facelifts to upper blepharoplastics, the conspiracy theorists were frothing at the mouth, and I loved every single second of every one of them. See, when people start comparing your results to surgical procedures that cost $20,000 to $40,000, I mean, just how rich do some of you think I am? And that require months of recovery, you know, months that I don't have because I'm on camera every week, well, you know that you're onto something special. So the fact that I'm achieving these results tells you everything that you need to know about what's possible with the right technology, a little bit of intelligence, and actual consistency. And the device that's been doing the heavy lifting in my routine since the start of this year is this one right here, the Dermrays Revive. This gorgeous device has worked hard to earn its place on my countertop, in my routine, and in my results. It's a professional grade 1064nm laser delivering 10 joules per square centimetre of energy. That's 2.78 times more powerful than the Nero laser, 100 times more powerful than the Lima laser, and at that price, go figure, and 200 times more powerful than LED masks and handheld devices. 6 months in, and here's exactly what I think about this, including why people keep questioning whether I've had surgical procedures, which I haven't, like not even a little bit of a snip and stitch. So the 1064nm wavelength used by the Dermrays Revive for advanced skin tightening and collagen stimulation is the same wavelength used in clinics worldwide, and by brands like Cynosure, Luminis, Alma Lasers, and many others. It works at a very specific frequency that your skin cells respond to, similar to how plants respond to specific colours of sunlight. Now, when this particular wavelength hits your skin, it passes through the surface layer without damaging it, and it penetrates down into the mid-dermis where your collagen factories live. Now, I want you to think of collagen as the scaffolding that keeps your skin firm and smooth. As we age, this collagen gets broken down faster than it gets rebuilt. The 10 joules per square centimetre that this device delivers represents the amount of energy being transferred to your skin. To put this in perspective, 1 joule contains very little energy. In fact, it takes over 82,000 joules just to heat up a cup of coffee. But when that small amount of energy gets precisely focused at exactly the right depth in your skin, it triggers something remarkable. The device creates what's called controlled thermal injury, which I get probably sounds a little bit scary, but actually it represents something really special. It heats the dermal tissue to exactly 43 degrees Celsius, or about 109 degrees Fahrenheit, and this precise temperature proves crucial because it's hot enough to wake up your skin's repair mechanisms, but not hot enough to cause any damage. When your skin cells detect this controlled heat, they activate proteins called heat shock proteins, and I want you to think of them as emergency repair crews that rush to the scene. These proteins act like cellular repair directors, orchestrating the rebuilding processes and stimulating your skin to produce fresh collagen. The pathway that this activates tells your skin cells to start making more collagen, while simultaneously reducing the enzymes that break collagen down. I guess it's kind of like having construction workers building new scaffolding while also stopping the demolition crew from tearing down what you already have. And that, my friends, is the science behind the Dermrays Revive. Alright, let me be specific about what consistent use has delivered. The most dramatic change has definitely been in my jawline definition. So the jowling that had been bothering me in my mid-jawline and mid-face area hasn't just stopped progressing, it's actually reversed, and I can see definition in my inner and mid-jawline that I honestly didn't think was possible with a home device. My skin texture has also completely transformed. Those enlarged pores that used to require industrial strength primer, well, they shrunk to the point where I can pretty much skip the astringent toners most days now. And the surface that used to feel rough and uneven is now smooth. Smooth enough, in fact, that sunscreen glides on effortlessly. And then there's the big one that a lot of you guys have had questions about already. The rosacea that had been my constant companion since my teenage years. Well, that has almost completely gone. The spider veins on my cheeks that I'd resigned myself to covering with concealer for the rest of my life, these have faded to practically nothing. Like literally there has been over a 90% reduction, and I think I may have finally hit the nail on the head with how to deal with them at home. How? Well, the 1064nm wavelength is able to target blood vessels, and the results have been remarkable. Even my freckles have reduced dramatically. I'd estimate about 70% fewer spots, even though that we're heading into the peak of summer. Basically, the overall tone of my skin is more even than it has been in decades. And I'm so here for it. But it's not just what I'm seeing, because clinical studies confirm that 1064nm lasers effectively target melanin while remaining safe for all skin tones and types. So this makes total sense to me. No surgeons needed. And the best part? Well, I've done it using an at-home laser skin tightening device that's designed to perform as well as salon machines. So compared to the original model, the Revive delivers 21% longer pulse width and 54% faster rise time, creating more stable energy delivery. The contact sensors are smart enough to activate when any two of the diagonal points touch your skin, making forehead treatments infinitely easier now. And then we've got the built-in cooling system, which is genius. It activates instantly, keeping the surface comfortable while the deeper layers get the therapeutic heat that they need. So professional treatments often require numbing cream, but I can use this at maximum power without any discomfort whatsoever. This device also uses a uniform light spot rather than fractional patterns, allowing the 1064nm wavelength to penetrate deep into the dermis, which is exactly where it's needed to stimulate collagen production. Now, this approach explains why I'm seeing improvements across multiple skin concerns simultaneously, and I'm totally here for it. Alright, since this keeps coming up in my comments, I'm going to address it directly. Does the Dermrays Revive damage facial fat or cause facial fat loss? Well, after 6 months of consistent use, my face hasn't deflated, melted, or turned into anything resembling a raisin. In fact, the complete opposite is true. But according to the manufacturer, Dermrays Revive will not cause fat loss in the face. The device operates at a carefully controlled energy level that does not penetrate deeply enough to be able to affect or dissolve fat tissue. Your facial contours will remain completely safe while your skin enjoys the benefits of gentle rejuvenation. And you know what? They're absolutely right. The confusion here comes from people mixing up different types of treatments. Research shows that 1064nm lasers can indeed cause fat reduction, but only when used at specific parameters and treatment protocols designed specifically for body contouring and not facial tightening. Now, the Revive operates at parameters designed for collagen synthesis, not fat reduction. If anything, my face looks fuller and more supported because the collagen structure has improved. So I hope that this clears those fearmongers' claims up, some of whom claim to be medical estheticians. I think some of you need to get back to school. Okay, so how do I actually use the Dermrays Revive? Well, I followed the protocol exactly. 3 to 4 times per week for the first 2 weeks, then 2 to 3 times weekly for the next 3 weeks, followed by monthly maintenance. The improvements with this are cumulative, and the results that I've had from this become most apparent at around about the 3-month mark, when multiple treatment cycles that I've performed have compounded. But the beauty of this device is its simplicity. You clean your skin, you dry it down thoroughly, you use the device, and you're done. No gels, no serums, no complicated prep. It takes me maybe 10 minutes for my whole face, and the built-in TEC cooling system makes every single treatment comfortable, even at the highest setting. Now, I have multiple videos of how I use the Dermrays Revive from start to end with step-by-step instructions covering different parts of the face. So I'm going to add those links into the description box down below, where you can go and learn a little bit more about how to use this device after the video. Alrighty, professional 1064nm lasers operate at higher peak powers, typically 40 joules per square centimetre, compared to the Revive's 10 joules. However, professional treatments cost $300 to $500 per session, with most people needing between 3 and 6 sessions. So you're looking at between $1,000 and $3,000 just for the initial course. This device costs $599 and way less with my discount code, with 300,000 flashes providing years of treatment. Now, when you break it down per treatment, I'm paying around about 15 cents per session versus hundreds of dollars for professional treatments. Now, when I say professional treatments, that doesn't mean that this doesn't deliver professional results. It just means that the user is the one delivering the treatments and not a professional. Now, home devices allow for more frequent, gentle treatments that can build amazing results over time. Et voila. So, after 6 months, I'm looking at skin that is visibly improved in every way that I'd hoped for, and in some ways that I didn't expect. This home use skin tightening laser has proven that home laser technology, when done right, can absolutely compete with professional treatments. And not just for short-term results, but for long-term results too. Now, my skin transformation has been nothing short of remarkable, but more importantly, it's been sustainable. The improvements continue developing, creating skin that looks and feels better with each passing week. And honestly, my skin looks better than it has in years, and the improvements show no signs of stopping. If you're like me, and you're ready to commit to consistency, and you want results that will have people questioning your treatment history, this device will deliver. Just prepare yourself for the conspiracy theories about what surgical work you've had done, because they're definitely coming. And when they do, you know that you've done things just right. I don't just love my Dermrays Revive laser, it has literally become my favourite FDA cleared diode laser device, designed for tackling issues like collagen loss, elastin loss, fine lines and wrinkles, and the overall structure of my skin. It works beautifully in combination with other devices that work in different layers of the skin like the Nera, but ultimately, as someone who's going to be turning 44 in less than 4 weeks, I kind of love my heavy hitters like this, and being such a high energy device means that I get to use it less but get spectacular results. But if you've got any questions about the Dermrays Revive, about how it works in the skin, or any other part of my personal skincare routine, the comments are now open, so feel free to get the conversation started. Be sure to check out my other videos of the Dermrays Revive, and if you're heading off now, I hope that your day is as amazing as you are. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today, and I really look forward to seeing you in my next one. So until then, TJ over and out.